Alrighty, so League of Legends YouTube channel just released a new video about the Mordekaiser rework that they just released, and it's not in game yet. They're still putting it on like the PvE server, stuff like that. It'll be up probably by today or tomorrow, but I am going to react to it and give my thoughts on it, since the first champion that I got my mastery on was Mordekaiser, and I love him. So we'll react to it and see how it goes, because I've seen this video once already, but I just want to give my thoughts and opinions based on what I've played and based on what is shown here, and I'm kind of hopping on the bandwagon. So let's watch this and react to it.
Before we even start a project, we look at what exists and try to distill what about it do we want to keep.
I think for the players that main him, they still love Mordekaiser, right? Mordekaiser is iconic to the game.
He's like a walking fortress.
Unstoppable
It
wall of
smashes
metal.
people.
It's the fantasy of being this sort of Lord of Death.
I
From
agree.
a visual standpoint and the gameplay, I think there's a disconnect. Like, when you see the splash, you kind of think you know what his playstyle is going to be.
And then in game, wait, am I a mage? Do I even use my mace? And so in the VGU, we really wanted to approach, how do we make sure that through line is clean all the way while keeping at least the feelings and the elements and the things that those old players did like about the champion and bringing them forward.
So when we pick a champion that we're ready to do a VGU on, we assemble a team that's a designer, a writer or narrative, and an artist that we call DNA. The DNA pod sits down and talks about, like, how do we take the old pizza feet Mordekaiser and make him look like a modern champion, but still immediately recognizable as Mordekaiser.
We really wanted
those
to focus on the
concepts
fact that
those
he is this
concept arts are
indomitable
really cool.
warlord who's able to crush his enemies and capture their soul for his own purposes.
This was sort of an
It's a
earlier
really cool
stage,
reimagining
just trying to figure
Mordekaiser.
out the shape of Mordekaiser, what was the key
His
visual
base skin is
motif.
just so cool. It's just like Aurelian Soul.
And that's what we
Like,
came up
it's
with
so
the idea
cool.
of making it like architecture.
Like, the edgier the better, dude.
We looked at his entire kit very, very closely to see if there's anything we should bring forward, like the ultimate.
Mordekaiser's
old
old
ultimate
ultimate
sucked,
was
not gonna
he
lie.
would kind of put a debuff on a target, and if the target died while that debuff was on them, then Mordekaiser kind of captured their ghost.
He basically
not
becomes
much of an ult.
a
I
two-man
never
army
use
at that
it.
point. And though
Extreme
that
no
is
circumstances
cool,
I can use it in.
doesn't really
That's the only
fit
reason I use
with
it for the
what
dragon.
somebody with a big mace wants to do. It still takes away from the thing that you want to do with him, which is to dominate people with Mordekaiser, not have Mordekaiser command someone else to dominate.
Yep. Doesn't fit the character.
And then go through. We did try to bring the ghost forward, and by try I mean we had it in for months and months. And at the end of the day, what we found was that the experience we were creating as a whole was sort of detrimented
See,
by
that's
having
so
the ghost.
cool.
So we ultimately decided that while
Oh
it
my
pained
God,
us
that's
greatly to
amazing.
remove it, that it would be better for the current kit to just not have that brought forward.
Overall, we wanted to deliver on.
I feel like a lot
the
of his
core
abilities
what
are
we
being
believe
drawn from other
Mordekaiser to
characters.
have
Like
been
that
all
grab
along,
thing,
which is
that's
this,
like that's
death
so
archon.
much. That's
This
Swain.
particular
Come on.
case, I think you
Like,
could
only
represent Lord
Swain
of Death
has that,
anywhere on
so
the
he's
kit, but the
kinda pulling
obvious
abilities
spot
from
to
other
attack from
champions
is
I've
the
noticed.
ultimate.
But it's still
So
pretty
it's
cool.
with the
Like,
ultimate
that's
that
really
we're like,
cool.
how can we create this story in League of Legends in a matter of seconds?
So Mordekaiser's current background, Mordekaiser is interested in seizing the souls of the living to help him build the afterlife that he was denied. So
Yep.
he's constructing his own death realm.
In terms of
That's so
gameplay,
cool.
Mordekaiser can choose a victim to bring with him to the Death Realm, and they are cut off from their teammates completely.
That
So
is
the
a
Death
cool
Realm is just
ability.
another interaction layer of the game. So I can't see anybody in the Summoner's Rift layer, and no one in the Summoner's Rift layer can see me in the Death Realm layer. So now all of the things about using my teammates, getting knockups or heals or stuns or all that stuff is gone. It's me versus Mordekaiser, Mordekaiser versus me.
Well, another thing we wanted to keep in mind too is the opponent side of it. We didn't want this spell to just feel like a death sentence of Mordekaiser casts this on me, I just actually die and there's nothing I can do about it, which is why there's still a fight. There's really cool plays of flashing over a wall to get away from him, or if you are really crafty,
So can
kinda
you leave
outsmart him,
like this
and having
this
that
barrier,
goal
like the gray
can
wall? Can you
allow
leave
the
that?
enemies
That's
who get
like
pulled
if you
into the
can,
death realm
that's
to still have a fighting chance
because
against him.
the whole point of the ult is to cast it so you can't escape, and if you could
I
escape,
feel
that's
like,
kind of like
with the update, this is a great opportunity for us to sort of reintroduce League of Legends players to Mordekaiser.
And for the players out there who really, really like old Mordekaiser, my hope is that we have considered those players as much as we can, and that we have brought forward the best version of the champion that we can deliver to as many players as want to play it, like feeling like they get to be this Death Lord juggernaut.
The power of the mace smashing their opponent, and then the ability with that ultimate to say to your opponent, there is no escape from Mordekaiser.
that's a cool splash art. That is really cool. Okay. So, I'm going to give my thoughts and opinions on this. And, I put this in, right here. So, these are his new abilities. So, they're replacing his passive with his old W. So, his old W is when he would cast, like you saw in the beginning, he would cast that circle around an enemy, around it, around a minion, himself or another champion, and if those two circles collided, it would do damage. And it was really, there's a lot of stats to it, it's really complicated. So I guess they replaced that with his passive. So now if he stacks 3 attacks against a champion or uses 3 spells, then that will activate. And that's just on him. His Q is the same, he just uses his mace. His W is a self-heal. That's really cool. His W is a self-heal because if he turns his shield into health, that's pretty cool. Death Scrap, that's just Swain's ability. But it gives him 25% magic pen, which is really nice. You won't even need a void staff. Like, you won't even need to build that magic pen. And his alt Realm of Death, that's really cool. So, okay, so those are his abilities, and here are my thoughts on them. I like it. I like his character design a lot, and I feel that this is a step in the most right direction you've ever seen. Like, this is amazing. Because old Mordekaiser right now, he sucks. He has, I think someone actually counted up how many bugs he has. He has over 200 bugs in the game right now. And they're really broken too. Like, one of them is if you kill Jin with your ult, you cast that debuff on him, and he's on his 4th shot, his crit shot, the ghost of Jin will only shoot crit shots. Like, that's a bug that shouldn't exist. I will miss the dragon. Like, the whole point of Morde, like, when I'd only play mid, because it's so much easier to go down and get Drake, and then have the ghost and then help another lane. Like, that's so cool. But I agree with the guy, because there is a lot of, like, Mordekaiser's kind of this guy. If you read up on his lore, like, the Castle of Noxus, Mordekaiser built that for his own purposes. And he was kind of denied the afterlife because he was resurrected by all these necromancers, and he kept fighting. So his lore is very, I'm Mordekaiser, you're no one, haha, I win kind of thing. So I agree with him on the Mordekaiser should smash, not Mordekaiser's minions should smash. So I am really happy. And that splash art, dude, this is so cool. I love this. I love this so much. His in-game skin looks amazing. There's another video that was leaked by League of Legends, and I can't get a hold of it right now, but it shows his in-game skins. And the one I have, the Can Clubs, looks alright. It's like the worst looking one out of them all. And right now, it's the best looking one on old Mordekaiser. So that kind of sucks that I wasted the money on it. But I don't mind. His in-game, it's like Aurelion Sol. Like, there's no need to have a skin. It looks so cool. So I'm really happy with how this turned out, and I'm so done with playing Mordekaiser and being smacked on because he's just a bad champion. He's just, right now, he's terrible because of his abilities. Brief history of Mordekaiser. He was really OP when they released him, Then they nerfed him to the ground, and they were like, we should send him bot lane. So they set him up to go play bot lane, and that's where they left him. And he wasn't good bot lane, so he was taken up to the top by players in mid, and now he can just be played anywhere as a meme. Like, you don't play Mordekaiser to win, you play him to meme. So this, I'm ecstatic. This is really good, and I am beyond happy about where this is going. I'm definitely getting back into this guy. Because right now, yeah, Mordekaiser, Mastery 5, he was my first Mastery 5. And if we compare his abilities to the ones you can see, so this Iron Man, gone. The Q's the same, but it won't proc 3 times like you see now. It won't do that. So it's just one Q. It's just one mace hit. His W, the Harvester of Sorrow, that's his passive, but he doesn't. It only casts on himself. His W's new. They got rid of his E. His E is really useless. That's all it does. His W, is basically a self heal. And Death's Grasp was Swain's thing, where he can just reach an arm out and grab it back in. It's a little bit different in this. I'm so happy. I'm happy and sad that this is gone, because this was kind of cool to cast and kill someone, but at the same time, it's like it's not really that useful. So Realm of Death, that was really cool. You can 1v1 an opponent. Like, that's so cool. Yeah, I'm extremely happy where he's going, and I'll make another video reacting to the gameplay footage once that comes out, because it's leaked right now and I can't get a video of it right now, and I'm pressed for time. So tomorrow that'll be up, if Mordekaiser isn't already released. So looking forward to that. Alright, well, that was my reaction. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next video.